Welcome to the While My Batteries Charge podcast. Join us as we talk about all things radio control. And now, your host,
Folks, this man, he is the king.
Mr. CCxRC himself, Tony CC.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another While My Batteries Charge podcast. It's going to be a great one today. Today we have on Todd, who you will know from the RC Element. And if you don't know him, you should go check out his channel. So we've got him here. We're going to talk RC, kind of find out how he got into the hobby, and go from there. See where the conversation leads. It's just a conversation, guys. So thanks for tuning in and joining along. Are you there, Todd?
I'm here, Tony. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for coming on, man. And I know everybody's schedules are crazy these days, so it's always hard. But
yeah, you're right. It is.
I have followed you since I got into RC, and really, really enjoyed your channel. It was always really, really well done. Back then, it was a lot of you with your daughters, and then YouTube changed a whole bunch of stuff and got annoying and all of that.
Toxic. Yeah, it was really toxic. I remember discovering your channel as well way back, towards the beginning, 7 years ago. And been following you ever since.
Well, it's cool. So I look at your stuff. You're into way more than just RC cars. I see, like, you've got the mountain bikes and you've got motorcycles and all this cool stuff that you're doing. Horses.
Yeah.
It's like an international man of mystery or something.
Way too many hobbies, that's for sure. It's so tough to make time for all of them. That's the problem. And even in the RC side of it, I like everything. I like helicopters, airplanes, cars, boats,
Yeah, crawlers. I saw you doing all the crawler stuff.
Yeah, I've been getting into that lately. It's just, man, it's addictive.
Is that Ford that you have? Is that the Charisma one?
Yeah, the
so
Charisma SCA-1E. Yeah, it's a really, really beautiful truck. I like it a lot.
How's the handling on it? I know you changed tires and stuff, it looks like.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not the best. My Traxxas TRX4 definitely handles better than that.
Right.
It just looks cool.
Well, you did a lot of, you were different with your TRX4. Everybody else seems to have like lightened the top and cut everything off.
Yeah.
You've added stuff to the top and scaled it out.
Mine's heavy.
Yeah.
Mine's really heavy. I actually like the heavier rig feel. It feels really, I don't know. I like the heavy feel of it.
More realistic
compared to like my lighter ones. Yeah, it just feels like it handles. I mean, for like trail crawling and stuff like that. If you do try to do some rock crawling with it, you know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, roll over city.
It's going to tip right over. Yep.
Yeah.
But I've been getting into the crawlers here lately. It's been really addictive, actually.
So I see you have the bright green Gen 8. I saw it on there. You got it for Christmas.
And I see you got that as well.
I did.
I like it. The only thing I don't like about it is how noisy it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that or not. Is
the Metal Gears.
Just the transmission.
Yeah.
It's really noisy compared to like all my other crawlers.
Well, you should hear the SCX-10-3. That thing is clicky.
Oh.
But it's all these Metal Gear ones, man. Yeah.
Right. And the portal axles and all that in there. It's just, besides that, I love it. It's pretty sweet, man. How about you? Do you like yours?
Yeah, I like it so far. I've only actually had it out 4 times since I got it back like November, December. But I've been recently trying to scale it out and get some work done on it. So that's partly why.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of like not riding it until I take it to USTE. But
okay.
I liked how it handled. I was very surprised, but it was way too fast. Like the motor in it was like it was a fast motor and
it's jumpy. It is.
It's too twitch, especially reverse. Like I gave it to my kids and they were like, endo wheelie backwards, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But you don't have the control.
On the trigger, that's for sure. Yep.
But it actually handles decent. You know, I felt like it travels and the suspension worked well out of the box. So I just put heavier wheels on it. I like weight like you. I rhino linered the top. That'll add some weight up top. But yeah, I don't know. I don't do much of the rock stuff. We do have some steep dirt hills, and the extra weight up top will send you over there. But I don't know. I'd rather stuff look realistic, you know. So if we couldn't do it with a real truck, why would you want it to be able to drive like this? Like
that's true. That's true.
Way too steep side hilling and stuff I see people do. I'm like, yeah, no. That's only because you have zero weight up top, and that is not realistic.
Exactly. But, I'm more into like the trail stuff as well instead of more like rock crawling. I like just going out and doing like trail runs with them and stuff.
All right, so I ask everybody, and so I'm going to ask you, what was your start? Like, how did you first get into RC cars?
I was about 12 years old back in about 1986. I'm revealing how old I am here. I was always into, toy cars and things that were cool like that. But there was nothing like that stood out until I seen this kid's car. I was over at the local basketball court, and there's like a stone parking lot there. And I'm shooting the basketball, and I looked over and I see this kid like spinning this RC car around in the rocks, like super crazy powerful. To me, at least it was. I was like, whoa, man, look at that thing. I just couldn't take my eyes off of it. I kept shooting the basketball, and it kept going back to him. I was like, so I walked over to him, and I was like, hey, man, that thing's awesome. What is it? And he said it was a Tamiya Hornet, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Tamiya Hornet. So I was like, man, it's so powerful. He gave me a rundown on it, and he took the body off and showed me everything inside. He showed me that the old mechanical speed controller was in there. I don't know if you remember those things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, I was hooked, man. I was obsessed. Ever since that day, I was like, man, I got to get one. So I found out there was a local hobby shop right up at the little shopping center I used to ride my bike up to all the time. And there was a hobby shop there. I went in there a few times and looked at, all the stuff, but never really couldn't afford it anyway. So I was like, yeah. So I went in there, and they had all the Tamiya kits in there. The Hornet, the Grasshopper, the Frog, the Blackfoot, all those classics.
And thank you for doing that. You just pleased all of the Tamiya people out there by just using both pronunciations of it.
I always called it Tamiya ever since I was a kid. It was always Tamiya. Then I found out later, I'm like, oh, it's Tamiya? And then other people was like, no, it's Tamiya. I'm like, I don't know.
And then you hear Tamiya. Tamiya,
yeah. So now I'm kind of back and forth with both. Sometimes I'll say Tamiya, sometimes I'll say Tamiya.
Yeah, whatever.
But Tamiya, yeah.
The kit car company.
Yep, the originals. So I just obsessed over it till I could actually get one, and my parents actually got me one for Christmas. I used to go up.
Which one was it? Do you remember?
Them all the time. I got the Tamiya Hornet. And
you got the Hornet? Okay. Really?
Yeah, I found the chassis not too long ago in storage. I posted a picture on Instagram of it, and I found the little parts box that I had when I was like 12, 13. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Of course, I did buy the re-release when they came out with that.
Yeah.
I mean, recently. I haven't built it yet. It's just been sitting on the shelf. But, so that's where it all started. I got that, and man, I got obsessed. I remember building it out on, in the bedroom. I shared a bedroom with my brother, and I was building it on the carpet of all places. And he was playing the Beastie Boys. I don't know why I remember this. He was playing the Beastie Boys album, which just came out, I think, in like 1985.
License to Ill?
Around that time. Yeah. And that's something I remember. I remember him playing that and me building that kit.
Huh.
But yeah, ever since then, I was obsessed. I mean, of course I got out of it like most people do when you get in high school and have kids, get married.
Yep.
I was into it probably till late teens, and then I kind of faded out of it till late 20s. and then got back into it hardcore again. After the Hornet, I got the original RC10. That was my dream car. I seen somebody had that one, and I was like, well, this thing is way better than my Hornet.
Right.
I was like, look at this. It has a little gold tan on it.
Suspension.
Awesome.
The suspension.
It's got oil-filled shocks. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So then I was obsessed with the Associated RC10. I was like, man, I got to get one of those. So, yeah, I finally got one of those. And
when did you get into the birds? Because you got helicopters and planes, and was that a lot later?
Well, I was obsessed about a year or two after I got my Hornet. I got obsessed with airplanes. Someone told me about this airplane club where they flew remote control airplanes. I was like, what? Really? I was like, we should ride our bikes there. Of course, back then you could ride your bike anywhere.
Yeah.
No problem. So it was pretty far away from where I live, but, we got on our bikes and we probably took us a half hour more to get to the club. And, man, I was obsessed with airplanes once I seen them. Of course, everything was glow-powered nitro engines back then. And I saw those, and I was just like, man, that is so cool. I can't believe you can actually fly an airplane, with this controller. It's way up there in the air.
Yeah.
It was just so fascinating. I was like, that is so cool. So I couldn't really afford an airplane either. I think I talked my parents into piecing it together, like get the kit. That's another thing. Back then, it wasn't like now where they're ready to fly out of the box.
Yeah.
You had to, it was just a pile of sticks and a box, balsa wood, and you had to do it all, build the whole thing up, and you had to know what you're doing. And I had no clue.
Yeah.
So I do remember getting a glider for Christmas one year. I think the kits were only like $30 or $40. It was called the Gentle Lady, Carl Goldberg Gentle Lady. I think that's what it was. It was made by. But it opened the box up. I was like, "Are you serious?" It's just like this huge like blueprint thing, and you got to build the wings on top of this blueprint. And I was like, "No way." So I asked my dad to help me, and he helped me for a while, but he just didn't have time to spend building that thing every night. And so I think we got a wing done, and then it just kind of faded away. But I kept going to the club every week, going there all the time. And then people at the club were like, I was like a regular there.
Nice.
There's a kid on his bike again. So I would show up and just watch him fly, talk to him, watch him fly. And after a while, they were like, man, the one guy said, hey, come on in here. There was a fence there. You couldn't get behind the fence if you wasn't a member. So, hey, come on in here and try to fly this. I was like,
wow.
Really? So, yeah, I went in and he told me what to do, do this, do that, pull back to go up. He just said, real gentle, move the sticks real gentle. So I went in there and he let me fly it real quick, and he stood real close to me.
Yeah, you
I was
grabbed.
like, man, this is, I was like, this is awesome. So, eventually one of them guys down there gave me an airplane.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was already built, and he was done as like a trainer airplane. And I had already had like an engine and a radio from previous failed experiences with a couple other kits I bought, some cheap kits, and they never worked out. I never even got them in the air, and I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, he gave me that, and I installed it was called a KMB 40 motor engine in there. And I had a Futaba, I can't remember, so long. Of course, the long antenna, the FM transmitter.
I can't believe those things worked.
I know. Yeah, installed all that in there, and it worked. Everything worked perfect. I used to fire it up and taxi it around everywhere, taxi it all around the neighborhood. And I would just like drive it around like an RC car. I was just like taxiing it everywhere. I just thought the sound of the nitro engine was so cool. And
I bet your neighbors didn't.
And I was afraid. No, it was actually the guy across the street. He had a real long driveway, so I always took it over to his house.
Oh, he was cool.
Like, that thing is really neat.
Oh,
yeah, he's like,
cool.
That is really neat. And he kept seeing me with it. He's like, when are you going to fly that thing? I was like, probably never. But the thing is, I never flew it.
Really?
I was so scared to fly it. Yep. I was so scared to take it back to the club and have the guys fly it because I didn't want to crash it. I just thought it was so cool just to have.
And drive it around.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to crash it.
Now so you do a bunch of planes and helicopters. The helicopters scare me, man. They're just too much power with that rotor spinning like that, and I'm just like, that's decapitation mode right there. Like, I don't want to be anywhere near them.
Some of those bigger ones, like my SAB Goblin 770, that's a scary helicopter.
You hear it move that wind. Holy cow! Yeah,
it's a beast. It's an absolute beast, and I don't fly it much back here because I'm just scared. I don't want to crash, and I don't, it's just a big helicopter. Now my smaller
you just taxi it around.
No, I fly back here, but just not very often.
Yeah.
And if I do, I don't get crazy with it.
Yeah. One guy cut like a major power line at our hobby shop. I mean, it was a massive, massive wire.
Yeah.
And he cut right through it, knocked out power for like that whole area. And I was like, and it like, I mean, I was inside the store and it was like a poof. It was awful. And I was like, man, that is why whenever they were flying them, I'd literally get out of my car and like almost run into the store because I did not like when those big ones were out there. I was a little bit of a sissy about it, but yeah.
They are scary. They're intimidating, man. I was scared to death when I first got one of them big ones. I was like, man, this is scary because them blades, they're rotating
real fast. Did I lose you?
But they're...
Oh, there you are.
What's that?
I lost you for a second there.
No, okay. The smaller ones, I mean, they're putting out some power too, but they're not as intimidating as these big boys. But yeah, they're addictive, man. I love them. They're so challenging and so fun. I think it's the challenge of it all that draws me to it. And I don't even do 3D. I don't know if you've ever seen these guys do 3D.
Oh man, yeah.
Where they're like all over the place with them.
Yeah.
Swinging
around upside down.
Yeah. I just fly pretty much sport flying, which is just fast and do some loops and rolls and stuff, but not much else. Once you get into the 3D stuff, that's when you start crashing a lot.
Yeah.
Your orientations become all backwards and,
yeah,
it's tough.
So
some of them guys
mentioned that
real skill.
Yeah, some of them are super skilled. I saw some of them at the Horizon RC Fest. And then, I mean, some of the guys were doing 3D at the place that's, the wire got cut. But
right.
Impressive watching them flip it and hover and make it spin around sideways, and twist. Right. It was insane.
Yeah, it takes practice for sure. You got that right.
You'd mentioned you'd kind of got out with getting married and the kids and some of that, which was making me think in my head. So you started this YouTube channel. You've got all these cars now. I've seen your collection in pictures and on YouTube. What does your wife think about it all?
She's cool, man. She's really supportive of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not out freaking doing drugs, getting in trouble, drinking.
Yeah.
So I think she's cool with it. And like I said, a lot of the stuff I have down there, is from companies sending stuff to me or from the ad revenue from my YouTube channel, just going back into the hobby.
Yeah.
So I'm not really spending a whole lot. I mean, I'd say at least half I'm spending at least, but at least I'm getting a discount,
Yeah, that's one way to see it. Yep.
Yeah, if I was spending, if I bought everything I have down there, it would be, a little out of control. But she's cool with it, man.
That's cool.
No, she's totally cool with it.
She wasn't like, what are you doing a YouTube thingy for?
No.
That's awesome.
No, she's real cool with it. And, she new cars or something I get. And is that one new? I'm like, no, I've had this one 3 months.
Yeah.
It's brand new.
What's your definition of new?
Yeah. We're like, no, the company sent this out for review. But no, I actually bought that one. But
yeah.
But no, she's awesome about it, actually.
That's cool.
And yeah, my daughter Maya, she's the one that actually got me back into the hobby. I had all my cars and stuff up in the attic. I had I bought a bunch of cars in like the late 20s when I was in my late 20s.
Yeah.
And I kind of got out of it again. And I put them up in the attic in the house, and I had like a RC10 B3, an RC10 TC3, a couple other older RCs up there. And she remembers me running them around when she was, smaller, maybe like 5 or 6.
Yep.
She was like, hey, whatever happened to those RC cars you used to drive around everywhere? I was like, oh, they're up in the attic. She's like, oh, man, that'd be cool to try those. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, I'll get up there and get them out. We can run them around. So that's actually what started where I'm now.
That's
I got
awesome.
them out, and YouTube was becoming popular with RC, and then they just I think they just allowed monetization for everybody. I was like, man, I should start a YouTube channel and try to make a little money on the side while have fun with RC cars,
Yep.
So that's where it all started. From her.
That's really cool.
And that's why they kind of got involved with it, and they were having fun with the channel until, like you said, everything with YouTube and people's comments were just ridiculous on there with some of those videos. I'd have to, keep track of it every day and just delete and block people because perverted comments coming in, and
yep.
So it just got old, and they got older too, and it just kind of faded out of it. But mainly they got out because of
all the
just
people
in the comments and everything. Yeah,
it's a cesspool out there, man. The internet's something else.
YouTube was it was an absolute cesspool in that YouTube comment section before they made all these changes.
Yeah,
and it was just like, oh my god, I can't believe some of these people. But yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with the videos and stuff.
What's your current favorite? I know you've had some several new ones that I've seen come on. Like you were just, even on your podcast, you were like just beating the death out of that X-maxx for like the longest time, just pack after pack, and keeping track of how many packs you run through it.
Yeah, I keep track of all my packs on my phone. Every car I have it listed in there, and every run I put on it, I enter it in the log.
That's
crazy,
I
had 80
man.
Packs on. Yeah. After each day, because usually if it's a nice summer day, man, I'll have everything out. I'll have the planes, helicopters. I go back in, get something else, go back in, get something else, and I'll just jot it down on my log. So yeah, I think it's cool to keep track of how many packs you got through them, because
I need to start doing
go
that.
back and, like, man, I got 80 packs through this thing. So then, like, at certain points, like on my X-maxx, when like the ESC died, that was around 30 packs. I just kind of make a note of that and things like that. But yeah, I have a log with every car I own, how many packs I got through them, helicopters, airplanes, everything. But the X-maxx is awesome, man. I love it. I know it's some people don't like it. I guess X-maxx or Traxxas haters don't like it, but
yeah,
I'm not
I loved it, man.
I just love it.
Yeah, it handles really good. I didn't have the 8S. I had the 6S, and it was my favorite car for many years. And I sold it thinking I was going to buy the 8S, and then I just didn't. But it's still not out of the cards. I just keep thinking there's going to be like some upgrade or something else to it, but so I kind of keep waiting. I'm holding it, but it does so well out of the box. And my thing with it is, even with the 6S, the first thing they did when they got it was upgrade everything, and I'm like, and then they were complaining about braking stuff. I'm like, dude, you just put heavy wheels on that thing, like, of course you're breaking stuff.
No. Exactly.
I ran mine stock and didn't have any issues with it.
Yep, mine's stock, man, except for like all the electronics. I had issues with all the electronics. If you watched, I have a review on my channel, an 80-pack review. I think everything electronic in it died except for the motor.
Really?
But besides that, that's anything I upgraded. I got the Max 6, Hobby Wing Max 6 ESC, and that thing's awesome.
But you're still running the stock motor?
That stock everything, man.
Yeah.
I'm not big on upgrading things that doesn't really need it.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm the same way.
If it runs good, it runs good.
Yeah. I don't do a whole lot, wheels and tires and stuff, except for my monster trucks. Like I get the bigger ones, that J Concepts makes. But most of my cars, I don't go in my bashers. I'm going to change all the tires out or.
No. Right.
My Armas I've left like stock. I mean, I just run them as they are. Don't do anything to them.
Yep.
Except for I put a chassis on the Typhoon. I get one of those M2C like bulletproof chassis so that I can just send it as far as I want to. But I realize that if I break something when I do that, it's my own fault. Other people say that, oh, it's so weak. I'm like, dude, we're doing stupid stuff with these things nowadays.
Exactly. It's like, what do you expect out of these things?
Yep. So I answered your question. I didn't let you answer it. I started talking about your X-maxx. Is what made me have the question. Is what is your current favorite that you're running?
Honestly, I love 1/8 scale buggies.
Okay.
If I had to pick one RC, I'd pick a 1/8 scale buggy, whether it be like the Arma Typhoon or actually one of these race vehicles like the Kyosho MP9 or the TLR 8T.
Yep. Now you do nitro stuff too. Do you prefer the nitro over electric or?
I love the nitro. It's fun. It's just, the sound of the engine, the smell of the fuel, just everything about it, the tuning.
Yep.
It's just a challenge of nitro, I guess. For ease of use, you can't beat electric. You just can't. Just put the pack in, go out and rip it, and if I have a day where I have a lot of time to spend, and I'll get the nitros out and just run them, tune them, and just run them tank after tank.
But, that's what I was gonna say. You don't have to keep charging batteries. You just run it.
Just keep running. But electric, you got to go with electric all the way. But I love nitro. It's addictive, man.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet because I'm afraid of the tuning. So I haven't actually tried.
Most people don't have the patience for it. Yeah. You got to have some patience and some time to figure it all out. I'm still not a master at it either, tuning, but getting better and better. And
I have some of the gas stuff because engines, you can just keep pouring gas in it, but you don't have quite the tuning issues of the nitro.
Exactly. Yeah, gas is much better in that sense. You're right. Favorite car? Yeah, like I said, the 1/8 scale buggies, and then probably my X-maxx.
Okay.
I love the X-maxx, man. And then also like the Losi DBXLE 2.0.
Oh yeah,
that Fox edition one I have. It's an awesome. It's the same thing as like my big helis. It's such a big tank.
So much
scary.
Power.
Man, when that thing's whizzing by you, I'm like, man, if that thing hit my leg.
They're going like 50 miles an hour. It will.
I know, and it weighs a ton. And it just rips the grass up, rips everything up. It's got so much torque.
Yeah.
It's a different handling type of vehicle compared to the X-maxx. They're totally different.
Yep.
But they're both fun, man. I love them both.
So I got the original DBXLE after I got the X-maxx because I liked it so much.
Yep.
But I was trying to compare them to each other.
Yeah.
And that was the wrong thing. I was trying to make the DBXLE do the stuff I was doing with the X-maxx, and I was hating it. Nope. But it's not about that at all.
Exactly.
It's better
right on there.
Long jumping and staying low to the ground, where the X-maxx you can jump high and do all this stuff with. But I ended up liking the DBX LE as much or more. It became hard to decide. I kept reaching for it in my backyard, but like you said, it tears stuff up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You're absolutely right about the difference in them. They're two different vehicles, and the DBX LE won't jump like the X-maxx. I mean, it jumps. Mine jumps pretty good off my little ramps.
Yep.
But sometimes it won't. It'll it won't level out properly.
Right. You almost have to hit it just below full speed and then accelerate in the air.
Yeah, there's a certain speed you got to do with that one. And the air control is not as good with the brakes and everything as the X-maxx.
Right.
But it's just, you can just rip it through the yard full speed and turn it as hard as you can, full speed, and it just grips so low to the ground. But, besides that, I just got so many down there.
Yeah, it's tough.
I need to.
Those are a good selection. Have you done any technos yet? You mentioned buggies. Have you tried?
No,
I haven't tried techno yet.
Expensive. I would love to, but the price is just whoa.
Everyone keeps telling me I need to do the monster truck one, which is independent suspension, but I haven't done it yet.
I hear technos are awesome. They're just durable, well made, well built, everything. They're just awesome RCs. And of course, in the racing world, they're one of the top ones out there. But no, I've heard good things about techno.
I just haven't
never owned one.
It's for me more of the time to build it. It's really hard to find right now.
Yeah,
especially with the YouTube and all the other stuff. And I've told you, it feels like a job. At some point, RC does. Because there's so much so I'm going to go out and run and have some fun doing that. But then it's then there's all this stuff I just shot on my camera. And now I've got to, instead of just going back in and tinkering with cars or building or doing other stuff, it's editing videos and uploading videos and responding.
And I've backed way off on YouTube because of that. I've been putting more time into the hobby without the camera in my hand. And I just, like I said, I'm constantly doing RC. I just don't film much anymore, like I used to back when you started the channel. But it's like I felt like if I was going out to run a car before, I better have my camera. I can't go out without my camera. I can't, It's like, but now I'm like the opposite. I don't want the camera.
Yeah,
I just want to go run and enjoy RC. But I still make videos and all, but just not as much as I used to.
What I've done is I've simplified the way that I go out with the camera to being just I mount my phone or a GoPro right to my controller. I have a clamp, and that way I don't have to think about it. I just kind of drive and point the controller where I'm driving, and I just do longer runs because before I'd set up a camera and I'd have to, if it's on a tripod, you had to just keep doing the same jump over and over. Whereas if it's free to move around, I can just point the controller wherever. It's not the same quality, but it's more fun.
Yeah, right.
And it gives people a better idea of how the trucks are actually handling instead of just being jump, jump. True. You're seeing it land and turn and drive and all the other stuff that they do. So I've kind of just changed my mentality of it doesn't have to be the most perfectly filmed video. But it's just content.
I mean, a lot of people like that. A lot of people like to see the unedited, uncut version of you running the car, and not these, polished, videos that are.
Well, the companies do those already, right? So they want you to see it only landing and only doing everything right.
And, you was talking about that on your last podcast, and I thought that was interesting because it's true. I mean, it's like they're not really telling you the truth about everything in that video.
Oh yeah,
it's looking perfect and beautiful and perfect in that video. But yeah, I like watching the uncut, unedited videos people put out a lot of times.
Yep.
Just so you can really see what the RC is all about. But I'm back and forth with the ones I do. Sometimes I'll do like a polished one, and other ones I'll just strap the camera to my head and just go with it. But yeah, How about you? What have you been up to?
Me? Well, I'm getting ready for USTE, so I've been doing a lot of building.
Yep.
And so I've been back into the crawler mode. After Axial Fest last year, I had a hobby wing that just freaked out, an Axe system. And I didn't know what it was, if it's my receiver or whatever, but just because of being all the stuff I mentioned before with YouTube, I never got back to that car until like, I just picked up the ones that worked, and I had other crawlers to use. I got the TF2, and I finally kind of, now that I was going to this event, I'm like, I need to get this truck running again. And it turned out that it was a bum. One of something's bad, the ESC or the motor, which stinks. I only ran it 2 days, but
yeah.
But I put in a fusion system and it works great again. So it's definitely something with that system. And so once I diagnosed that, then that one was ready. That was all it needed. And got a couple of the Gen 8 I slowed down, put in a slow motor. And then I'm just out bashing. Like the LMT has really made RC fun for me again.
I got my eyes on that, man. I can't decide.
Yeah.
There's so many RCs out there to choose from. I'm just like,
There's just a fun factor. It gets on its side, and then you gas it, and it spins around on the side wheels, and then stands up into a wheelie. It just it reacts like you see the big ones react on TV. It kind of lumbers around, so it's the most race ready out of the box, but it's also like the best freestyle one out of the box because of the way it just. And it's not necessarily race tuned out of the box. I'll say that it's thick diff fluids. Right. The suspension isn't set necessarily for racing, but it can be turned into a racer pretty easily. But it's just, I've just had so much fun, and I've broken it. Solid axle is a different ball game. So, you land weird with the weight of those things. It's a heavy truck. You're going to break stuff.
For sure.
It does feel like, there's room that there could have been more webbing or whatever internally, but it still comes down to like what we're doing with these is beyond what people were doing with these monster trucks before. And you're gonna break stuff, first of all, because you're doing things at speeds that you didn't do them at without upgrading everything. So, but it's just, I don't know. There's something that's right now my favorite truck. And because I just always throw a battery in it. So I ended up buying $300 axles for it. And now it's like bulletproof. And they're just complete. They're like 75 aluminum billet. Like,
oh my goodness.
And I don't even worry about it. I just go out there and do whatever I want now. And so it's now like a $900 truck. It did. But it ate a lot of weight. I like it. The weight of that truck is what makes it handle so good. The suspension and the way that it does everything that looks realistic is because it's heavy. And that's
I like heavier vehicles.
So everybody else is taking the cage out and all that to lighten up the upper part of it so it stays low weight. But for like the freestyle and like the realistic look, having that weight up there is just, it makes them look so cool on video.
I bet.
But that's all I've been doing. So I have a special build.
Is that your favorite RC?
Oh yeah, right now. Yep.
Right, that's your favorite RC at the moment. Yeah.
To drive,
what's your?
I have that really big 5th scale gas powered Raminator. That's pretty epic.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I watch your videos on it. I would love to have one of them, but man,
it's epic. It is. Well, I thought I was going to race it, so we were going to go down and race it at actual Monster Jam event. And so it was kind of like a cost of entry into getting into all that. And unfortunately, COVID happened. So, but it's done well. The videos on it have done well. And man, it's just really cool. It is. I smile ear to ear the whole time I drive it. The sound of it.
Oh, I bet.
The way it just looks. And it's because people don't understand how big it actually is. Like,
I know.
Like, oh no, it's like 2 X-maxes side by side. And it's like, you still don't get it until you see it, like what that looks like.
Yeah. Does it handle like more like a monster truck would handle than anything else because it's so big and heavy?
Yeah.
Is it like?
It lumbers around. It doesn't have the power off the line that a monster truck has. But once you get it up to speed, I mean, I had Ryan Anderson actually backflipped it. I took it down to Digger's Dungeon, and he backflipped it off of a steel drum that we had dirt up to, and for the low C video we made. And that at that point, I'm like, okay, I don't need to change anything about this. I'm fine with the stock motor. If it can backflip, the rest of it, the stuff it does is very realistic as far as slap wheelies and that kind of stuff. So, it's pretty fun. But again, everyone's like, cool. Make it electric, and I'm just like, no thanks. You get one, and make it electric. Because I could just put gas into it and drive it for an hour. The second it's electric, I'm going to get like 10-minute run times out of it.
Yeah, gas all the way. The sound, everything, man.
Yep.
The thing is awesome, for sure.
But yeah, I mean that's about it.
How do you like your Arma Typing? You got the same one. I got the Mega. And we both upgraded them to the brushless.
Yeah, so I had to go to 32 pitch gears, so I bought the 3S assembly and stuck that in. And that's way better. But I underpowered the system I put in it is just a little underpowered. I was trying to keep it cheap. Okay. I was trying to buy local what they had. I would have been better off. They didn't have any because I paid like $100 for it because you can't get anything Castle right now. But it would have been better off with the Castle Sidewinder for like $130. I spent $100 for this Hobby Wing one that's for like a 10 scale 2-wheel drive buggy, and so
what kV motor you got in there right now? You remember?
I don't.
Maybe 3600.
I think it's 36. But I'm having to gear it up, and then I kept stripping the spur gear, so then I had to swap that out. But they're great handling.
I got a steel.
Yeah, they're great handling vehicles. So I would probably tell people to get the 3S one just out of the box. But mine was more they sent it to me, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm willing to do this. Okay. I wouldn't typically buy it, but it's like, okay, well, let's show people like the path to upgrade. If you did get this and you want to go faster, instead of now spending another $300, you could just kind of upgrade for about $150. Right. That's if you already had it. But if you don't have one, I would just say just get the brushless one straight away.
I agree 100. Yeah, I agree 100%. I had a brushless system laying around, and I liked the green color, and it was like $220 for the RTR, and I was like, I'll just do that and then throw the brushless system in. But once I got in there, I didn't know you had to change the whole the slipper, clutch assembly, and everything. It's
which is another different on the 40 or 50 bucks, version. Right?
I was like, what? Yeah, I was like, you gotta. I thought you could just put in a upgraded spur gear to the 32 pitch or the 0.8 mod, and no, you can't do that.
Because for some reason they built it differently, so you can't just put the spur gear on. Which is a bummer because it would have been nice if they could have just transferred over. Yeah. Or upgraded to a 32 pitch.
Yeah, true. So like you said, it is better just to get the 3S if you're going to do it for sure. But
if you're just getting into the hobby though, you get battery, you get a charger, everything for $220. Or if you're younger and you shouldn't have that speed yet, it's perfect, right?
I definitely recommend that buggy as a first RC. Can't beat it.
Yep,
for sure.
It's amazing what the market's done in the past 7 years since I got into RC, because I didn't have like the run up that you did. We had like the Lobo 2, and we had some Nico stuff. A couple of those Radio Shack ones. And then we raced BMX, and guys would come out with the Nitro ones, and they'd come out with, and actually the BMX shop sold like Tamiya and some other things that you could buy that were Nitro. We never got it. I always wanted the lunchbox and never got it. I still haven't gotten the lunchbox yet.
That thing is cool. I've been wanting to get that too. I think so cool.
But I did get the Clodbuster, and now I have about 8 of them. They're just addicting. Yeah. But
that was a popular one, man.
Yeah, they're really fun still. They still race them, man. They take those axles and they put brushless in them, and they're some of the fastest trucks in the monster truck racing are Clodbusters modified.
Yeah, I've heard they still race them. That's neat.
Yeah,
cool.
it's crazy for $330 what you get in that Arma 3S lineup with the brushless. And when I started, you had to pay about $500 if you wanted to get something ready to run brushless.
Yep.
$450 to $500.
Yep, you did.
/ Platinum. Low-C had their 10 ready to run out at that time, the 10 SCTE. There wasn't a lot of offerings that were under $500 with power.
No, yeah, all the brushless RTRs were definitely most of them way above $400. It was come a long way, like you said, the hobby.
Yeah, well, dude, thank you for taking time to do this. I want to end and just give you a moment to, if there's anything that you'd want to tell somebody just getting into the hobby, or, about yourself that we wouldn't know, just kind of give you a last word here before we wrap up, since I've been asking a whole bunch of questions and all that. If there's something that you wanted to mention or you've got coming up, this is a good time.
Let's see. Well, what do I got planned? I don't know what I got planned, to be honest with you. I just go with it anymore. I think OMP Hobby, they just sent me out that M1 helicopter. There's a video up on the channel of that, me unboxing that. They're sending out an airplane to me here soon, so it'll be a new airplane from OMP Hobby coming to the channel. I do want to get another new RC. I can't decide. There's just so many to choose from. If you guys want to check out my YouTube channel, it's the RC Element. Instagram, the RC Element. Facebook, the RC Element.
I'll have them all linked too in the descriptions.
Oh, cool.
Yep, I'll link you.
My podcast is the RC Element. So yeah, I mean, that's about it, man.
You're a busy dude. You're a busy dude. You got all of the things, the Instagrams, the YouTubes, the podcast. That's busy, man.
I don't spend too much time with it, though, honestly. I mean, the podcast I do once a month. Instagram, you know how simple that is. Take a picture and slap it on there.
Yeah, but until it comes to the description, man, I freeze. Like, I don't know. I have this thing I want to post, but I don't know what to say about it. And that's where I freeze up a lot of times.
Right? I know. It's so true. So true.
And they want you to tag it. I'm becoming like a grandpa or whatever. Like, I gotta do these stupid tag things? This is ridiculous. Why do they make us do this junk? I just want to post a picture already.
It's so time consuming, isn't it? Oh, man. But I appreciate you having me on. I really appreciate it. And I'm a fan of your channel, fan of your podcast. Always have been.
Well, thank you. Same in reverse, man. We'll both keep hitting it hard. And thanks for coming on. I think this is the first time we've actually chatted.
We haven't
phone,
really.
Other than Messenger and stuff.
Phone, right. By phone first time. So, and like I said, you're not too far from me, really. You're only about 4 hours, maybe.
Yeah, down Virginia Beach.
Virginia?
Yeah, not too far.
I'm up in Maryland. You're in Virginia, and the weather's just been horrible lately.
Man, you guys are getting it more. We've just had rain. Yeah,
rain, snow, sleet, freezing rain, a little bit of everything here.
Yeah, you're a little further north.
I'm ready for summer.
It's warm here today. Like, I had fans on and stuff in the house.
What?
I was sweating. Yeah.
Sounds like an RC day.
Except it's still so muddy because it's rained for 2 weeks straight. But, yeah. I don't feel like getting it all muddy before we leave town.
I know,
and then have to clean it. Oh, man. So, well, Todd, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Be sure to check out the RC Element on all of the places. We've got it linked down below for you. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode. See you, Todd.
See you guys.